There are several things which I was going to discuss today. Last time we were looking at some indicators showing that we may have a small correction short term. I think that was the correction which we expected, and then maybe after some sideways price action we were expecting price to go higher. So I wouldn't hurry that much, but probably somewhere around within like a week or so it's very likely that we will see this pump. If the price will go lower than this line, then probably this scenario will be invalid. I wanted to briefly mention a sort of a fractal behavior which I found in Bitcoin price before the pump. So here you see we had a rise with sort of like sideways and then down, then again sideways with hitting the stop orders of both long and short positions, and then down and up like this U-shaped behavior. So pretty much the same here, up, sideways, going up with a correction, sideways with a sharp candles down and up, and then this U-shape again. So we may expect from this behavior that the price will slightly increase over time with a more or less sideways and then new bump again. So basically what we were expecting based on the indicator behavior. Now it's interesting to mention that finally after the drop to 3,150 we made like up, down, and then had this support line, and finally we may define a point for the resistance line over here. Moreover, you can draw a pitchfork starting from this point as the bottom and then having a high and consequently low. And this pitchfork looks really convincing in terms of the price behavior. First of all, a lot of the time we were trading at the lower part of this pitchfork, and then after with a strong move we moved to the upper part. There are certain levels in this pitchfork which were used as the support and resistance levels, or actually support and resistance line here for the price action. For example, here and now here as well. And although the price didn't bounce off the zero line over here, it still bounced off some of resistance line which lays in pretty much the same level as the support line on the symmetric part of the pitchfork over here, and price did react with this line as well. I noticed one thing, that on the pitchfork on TradingView there are actually levels which I would say are incorrect, and if you look at the defaults, then here we have 0.25 and 0.75. Well, there are sort of, reasonable numbers, but the ones which I would put here is actually should be from Fibonacci retracement levels. And here is, for example, you see 0.618 and 0.382. Those are the same as Fibonacci retracement levels. So here it should be 0.236 and 0.786. And I will leave this 0.236 level and 0.618 level as a strong one. And indeed, as you saw, the price did react with those levels quite a lot, especially with the 0.236 level. So now the triangle which we built over here makes a lot of more sense, because this support line is not only the trend line, but also it falls along with the same retracement level within the pitchfork. But there is one more interesting thing about this triangle, and you see this black line over here, and if you look at that line, I basically built it from these two tops. But what is interesting about that is on Twitter there is a guy B Biddles who posted this comparison, and this is the price of Bitcoin, and this one is the textbook example, bump and run reversal bottoms, and it's written by Sir Bulkovsky. So basically what you see here is that there is a line from the previous tops, and then we have a new top after the rise. And in fact, if you'll compare even the volume over here and over here, it's really similar. So the match of these two patterns is absolutely amazing. And now if you'll draw this line, then you'd see that we actually did test it just as it was shown over here. My line is actually a bit higher than the line from Sir Biddles, and now the price should go above this line and maybe test this line once again before the uphill run, as it's called here. So we may see the breakout of this line up, and also this triangle will be broken as well. So pretty much, very likely somewhere around here. And then if the price will return back and test this line, maybe actually it will break even before and then test both this trend line and this support, which now serves as resistance. But somewhere at this point the price will test both this line and the level, and after that, if it will go again to the upside, then that reversal pattern which is shown here is pretty much reasonable. Well, otherwise, if we will not break this line and actually will go to the lower part of this pitchfork, then it's very likely that we'll may have a lower correction, and bullish scenario at least will be delayed for a while. But those coincidences look very interesting to me. So anyway, there are like a week or a couple of weeks to see this resolved in some way, one or another, so let's wait. So far I would like to show the chart of the Bitcoin dominance, and it's interesting that we had this huge triangle starting from December 2017, and then the bottom was in January 18, and then the support line was tested several times, the resistance line was tested mainly recently several times as well, and we had this zone, mostly just the support level over here, where the price did bounce off several times as well. And it seems like the triangle behavior with this support is the major zone when the dominance is moving right now, and in fact we are very close to this resistance once again, so maybe the time for the dominance going down will be very soon. And usually when we see that, it happens when the altcoins, of course, going up, and recently after altcoins are going up, the price of Bitcoin also goes up, but just a little bit later than altcoins. So we may expect that exactly this thing happen, and it also follows our previous considerations. It's interesting to see that basically this behavior which we saw from June 2017 to pretty much December 2017, those are actually candles which I just translated over here, is very similar, if you make it a little bit different scale, to what we saw from January 2018 to October 2018. You see, very, very interesting match. Even these drops are pretty much at the same point. And finally, what may happen is that at this point, the dominance may drop like that. And it was October. It was the point when the price was at somewhere around $6,000, and we didn't know where the price will go, high or low. And a lot of people actually are expecting the price going high. So with this exuberance, if the price will go up, they would expect that, okay, like bear market is over, so we need to invest in altcoins, and then a lot of the capitalization of Bitcoin, just like here, may go to altcoin market, and then the dominance will drop just exactly like that. But instead of that, well, whales decided to dump Bitcoin, and then after some sideways price action, it indeed went to 3,150. So it didn't change the dominance that much, but one may consider that this expected behavior of the dominance is still somewhere around here, or I mean, it's sort of conserved in this condition. So at the point when we finally see some huge decrease in the dominance, probably to some even lower level, I wouldn't surprise if it will be like 30 or something, the new alt season will start, and then we will see the true reversal of the trend from bearish to bullish, and a lot of the altcoins will pump. Okay guys, that is it for today. I hope it was useful. Let's see how the situation with the price will evolve within this triangle during next days, maybe a week or so, and I hope to see you in the next updates. Thank you for watching.